what was it like going from the 25 minutes that you played in your return to now bumping it up and becoming the real starter again?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely nice to have one game where I kind of eased back into things, get my legs underneath me, get my lungs back. But jump into this game, I mean, it's really just trying to be mentally tough, knowing that you're going to be playing more minutes. Like when you're getting tired, telling yourself you're not really tired, and just kind of pushing through the little bit of ache and getting back that comes with playing more minutes. But I don't know, I was just able to keep playing and keep grinding and just being mentally tough. I think down in the stretch is kind of what helped me this game playing more minutes.
Yeah, and you mentioned, being more mentally tough, especially as the game progressed. In the fourth quarter, you really took over. You had the most points of any Terrier in the fourth. You made it to the free throw line and sunk 8 of 10 shots overall in the game. What did it do for you in terms of, being maybe not starting the game off perfectly, but finishing it off the way you wanted it to?
Yeah. I mean, my biggest thing was it's always going to be tough playing away games. No away game is going to be really easy. You kind of have to find your rhythm the first couple quarters because you're not used to shooting on that kind of rim or just playing in that kind of arena.
Mhm.
So really, I was just trying to tell my team and tell myself to stay the course. Staying tied, not getting down too much, and keeping, even if it's a small lead, keeping that lead because you can always expand on it later in the fourth and the third quarter. And I think we all got a little more comfortable, especially in like the last like third quarter half and going into the fourth quarter. And because we kind of stayed the course, it made it that much easier to expand on the little lead that we had, and we were eventually able to pull away. So it's really just staying the course and staying with it, knowing that's going to be tough playing away. There's always opportunity to pull away. And I think that's what we did in the end.
And then what would you like to improve on going into your next game?
Going into the next game, I think one thing I would like to improve on is trying to be more consistent, shooting for one, and two, just finding my open teammates, getting them more involved because I know that I can get to the basket more easily. And when people start to collapse and realize that I can find out, kick out to my teammates, and I think that'll be helpful for us going forward. Just getting a couple more assists under my belt. So that's one thing I would like to improve on for sure.
And then one more question. You saw two types of zones in this game from Loyola Maryland, a 2-2-1 and then a 2-3, and they changed intermittently throughout the game. What did that do for you in terms of looking for either passing lanes or trying to drive to the basket yourself?
Yeah, playing zone is always a little difficult for me personally because it's really easy to just pass the ball around and just stand around and not get as much penetration as if they were playing man. So for me, it's just staying mindful of that, knowing that I can drive and find gaps in the zones, and being more diligent about that. Because it's, you don't, when you don't get much movement playing against the zone, you don't really get the best shot you can get. So just trying to lead the charge as far as driving into the zone, getting into the middle, kicking out, getting the open shots. Just really trying to stay on top of that, I think, is one of the biggest things when you see those different types of zones.
So, Marin Durant and Riley Childs led your team in rebounds, both with double digits, and this was Marin Durant's biggest game since her 15 rebound game earlier in the season. What did it mean for you guys to control the board battle against Loyola?
Yeah, that was one. We had 3 goals to the game, and that was one of them. Was just dominate the glass. And we knew going in they have very talented post players too, and obviously Lex Theron, and number 21 too in there, Roberts. They're both pretty good on the glass inside. So we knew we wanted to control that piece. I thought we did a tremendous job. Obviously, Mirren, Riley getting in there, getting her 13 boards. But us coming up with 15 O boards just speaks a lot to just the heart and the desire that we had, just to execute those second chance opportunities.
And then I just spoke with Sydney Johnson, and I asked her about the increase in minutes from going from 25 in her return to 37 tonight, which was the norm before her injury. How would you say in terms of how she played? What, from your perspective, what did you think of her in the fourth quarter, especially as she was driving to the basket more often and getting those opportunities at the free throw line?
Yeah, I think we really challenged them, especially to get to the basket, which was a big thing. We weren't really getting to the basket in the first half. We were kind of settling for the three a lot because they played us zone most of the game. So we really challenged them. We talked about that at halftime. I thought Sydney did a tremendous job. We only shot one free throw in the first half, and that was Caitlin. Sydney shot 10 free throws in the second half. So I think that just spoke to the fact that it was really hard for Loyola to contain Sydney. She's a player that she knows she can get to the basket a lot of times. That's her forte. So I thought she did a really good job getting to the basket and getting to the free throw line.
And then you guys had a really balanced scoring attack today. You had 25 points off the bench. You had a ton of players that were between 6 and what ended up being the game high of 18 for Sydney. As far as not having to lean on one particular person, even though Sydney did have a really nice game, what does that speak to the confidence of you guys moving forward?
It's been really a good experience in the non-conference. It was a very challenging non-conference. We had people missing for various reasons, whether it was injury, health, those sorts of things. And so it really gave experience to people on the bench or people who, maybe wouldn't normally get it. And I think that kind of experience is going to pay off big time in the Patriot League, where we can go a lot deeper into our bench. Our benches just have been doing a tremendous job too, just coming in ready when their name is called.
And then you guys held Loyola Maryland to some pretty poor shooting performances from their standards. Bree Rossi went 1 for 8. Tahila Dixon went 2 for 9. Lex Theron went 4 for 13. In terms of the defense that you guys played, Loyola Maryland played pretty decent defense themselves, but what did that how did that translate into getting those fast break opportunities and getting those big blocks that someone like Maren Durant had herself?
I think, we're really fortunate to have two players like Caitlin and Maren on our side, where they're probably two of the biggest in the Patriot League. And I think it's just going to be difficult for some post players to shoot over them. So we talk a lot about them just playing as long as possible, making people shoot over, playing clean, those sorts of things. So I'm hoping to see that throughout the Patriot League a little bit, especially when we play them both together, that it's going to be really hard with those two paint protectors inside. And I thought they did a really good job of that.
And then going into your next game, you guys are 2-0 so far in Patriot League play. What is one thing that you would like to improve on going into your next game?
You know what? It's been the turnovers. The turnovers have been the problem for us in the non-conference. Today, I think, was our all-time low of 8 turnovers, which is great. So I would love to keep improving on that. That's a daily focus for us, and we count those in practice. And I would just love to continue to improve on that and have that showing in our next games, that we're taking care of the basketball and valuing the basketball.